Turnabout Revolution. Yeah, trial day 2. Oh yeah, because the first trial was about the civil case, and now it's the thing to get Dirk out of jail. Like, we're trying to prove that he didn't kill freaking the Ministry of Justice, Inga, Baruch, Karine. It's been 2 weeks. I'm trying to remember all this shit. I can't wait for the Edgewood games. Yes! Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm definitely going to play those, by the way. The drawings are enhanced, and everything is well put. And if it's the same as a Greatest Attorney, it's going to be story mode accessible. Like to... because there's a lot of 3D elements when it comes to evidence as well. So, yeah, without further ado, let's dive in. We're at Karine right now. Yeah, May 19, 8:50 a.m. High Court of Karine. There's a cutscene. Yeah, this is the Pool of Soul. The Karine judge. Oh, and the riot. Yeah, those are the dragons, the Defiant Dragons. They interrupted the start of the trial, and then the police came in, and violence, brutality ensues. Yeah, so 9:28. Oh, that was before. Oh, yeah. So they they teased us with what happened, but now we're gonna rewind the clock. See to see what's happened. So we're at the High Court of Karine, the accused lobby. Athena's here. It's complete chaos outside. Phoenix, let's just say the Defiant Dragon support are demonstrating for Dirk's freedom. They have taken a very special interest in the outcome of today's trial. They look about ready to string us up if we lose. Yeah, trials are pretty much like the ones back home, but with one major difference. The divination seance. The victim's final memories will become a matter for deliberation. I've heard about that, but they haven't stopped you from winning your case here in Karine. True, but it wasn't easy. Still, the memories of the dead are simply another piece of evidence. There's always a way to deal with them if your client is truly innocent. Well, I know Dirk is innocent, but... I have one more big secret. Flashback. Apollo, in court tomorrow, you may find yourself faced with a truth that is difficult to accept. But I know you, and I know you can handle the truth no matter what it turns out to be. I know that because I believe in you. You're my son, after all! Not his biological father, adopted father. Dirk, what is that secret you're keeping? Oh, shit. There's question mark, but judging by the speech, this is airball. Hey, AJ! Yeah, I knew it. That's... There you go. Just like I promised. He's giving us the Founder's Orb. Founder's Orb added to the court record. Founder's form has appeared from within. It seems only the Queen knows the Founder's real name. Thanks, Dad. Wait, weren't you arrested by the police yesterday? Yep, and I spent the night in the slammer. I had a party meal, a shower, even a bed. What more could I ask for? That actually sounds way better than where we're staying. Just remember, AJ, if Dirk's found guilty today, we'll all probably be found guilty under the Defense Culpability Act, too. Yeah, Nayuta said something to that effect. That witch Garan wants to take advantage of today to crush our revolution once and for all. The fate of the revolution and every Karine's person rests on this trial. We're counting on you, AJ! We'll be fine. I'm going to win this one, you'll see. The trial will begin shortly, Apollo. Let's make our way into the courtroom. Right! I got some garlic bread with bacon bits. May 19, High Court of Corrine. Court now in session, all rise. Let the trial of Dirk Sandbody begin. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Majesty. Oh, so it's really come down to this. Well, don't expect me to hold anything back, Nayuta. Nayuta being Dirk's biological son. So he's going to prosecute his own flesh and blood. And he managed to, somehow, to cast his emotions aside. Okay. This trial will examine both the murder of Justice Minister Inga Karkul Kurain and the assassination of the former Queen, Amara Sigatar Kurain. First, I believe we should address the murder of Minister Inga. Would that be acceptable, Prosecutor Sadmadi? ... Prosecutor Sadmadi, are you praying? Exclamation mark. Huh. Yes, yes, of course. Please proceed. What's with him? How very unlike you, Prosecutor! Is your mind elsewhere this day? No, not at all, Your Majesty. Are you really going to be able to go through with this, Nayuta? Well, Prosecutor Sanmari, I would be... Objection, there is a raspberry in front of my chair. Overruled! I would be remiss if I failed to voice a concern of mine. I have heard mentioned that you are son to the accused, Dirk Sanmari. You have heard true. Does that fact pose some sort of problem, Your Majesty? Give her the frog! A father being prosecuted by his own son? Could one possibly deliberate such a case without having personal feelings intervene? Yeah, I mean, usually that would never fly. Conflict of interest? Yes, without question. Can he really handle this? Even if it is Prosecutor Sanmari going against his own father, it's just... How can the son of a criminal even be a prosecutor in the first place? Somebody's... Objection! Dirk. Fellow citizens, you would do well not to underestimate my son. He's not one to allow personal feelings to interfere with the execution of his duty. Isn't that right, Nayuta? Exclamation mark. I will not stop until my work here is done. See? So all of you dollars just sit back down before you trip over your own stupidity. The accused will not take the stand without first being summoned. In any case, if Prosecutor Sanmari has no issue with this arrangement, your kid is a robot nerd. He's a monk. He's a Buddhist. Like, he casts all unnecessary distraction aside. Like, he even prays as a Buddha. Then let us commence the deliberation.
Objection!
Robo-monk. Oh, the Queen objects. One moment, if you would. Your Eminence! Your Eminence, what brings you here? She's standing next to Nayuta on the prosecution bench. This is a first. The prosecutor never had any help. Your Majesty, it would appear that Prosecutor Sadmani does indeed have some reservations. No, that's not true. Did you truly believe you could deceive me, Nayuta Sadmani? One should hold no reservation if one is to stand on these hallowed funerary grounds. Yeah, he's called the last right prosecutor. He treats every trial like every prosecution has the last rites for the deceased. Bring them justice so he can rest easy and pass over easier. I have none, your eminence. No! It is clear we cannot leave this matter to you. Is that a twist? Is he gonna be overthrown by the queen? We shall handle the prosecution of enemy of the crown, Dirk Sadmadi, personally. Wow! What a twist! But remain by your side. No, remain by our side and bear witness to how a true prosecutor enforces the law. She doesn't have the badge. Well, then again, she's the authority of the country, so she can do whatever she wants. Excuse me, but is the queen going to prosecute the case? Is that, you know, is that kosher? We have no idea what that word means, but there is no need for concerns. Before we were crowned queen, we served as a prosecutor. Bullshit! I call bullshit. Really? As a foreigner, your ignorance can be excused. But know this. The prosecutor in charge of the Queen Amara assassination case 23 years ago? No, don't tell me it was her. Was none other than her eminence, Queen Garan Sigatar Korain. First your majesty and now this? Why doesn't anyone ever tell me these things? I'd heard she served as a Minister of Justice, but she was also a prosecutor? I'm guessing she probably moved up the ladder from prosecutor to Justice Minister. We prosecuted that case 23 years ago, but no verdict was ever rendered. We had one guilty verdict in every case until then, for no lawyer could stand up to us. I am at a loss for words. To think I would once more bear witness to her eminence at work in the Hall of Justice. Our first trial in 23 years. No quarter shall be given to criminals. We shall prosecute them with all our might. She raised a hand. Oh, and a wall of guards coming. Whoa! Okay. Basically, the walls. Okay, wait a time from prosecutor days. Okay. I need to process this. Okay. Alright, what just happened? The guards made of walls so she can dress. So she can change suits. So basically, she changed from her royal outfit into what she was wearing while she were a prosecutor. Like, all her hair is revealed. She has a very weird... I keep closing window on the phone. Okay, so basically she's wearing a very dark dress. She looks like an evil sorceress queen from fantasy novels. And the gallery goes, oh! What a magnificent sight. The queen's attire from her prosecutor days. To think we would get to see it once more. And then Apollo is sweating. What the? That's Queen Garon? Talk about an extreme makeover. Yeah, now she has a big fan. The same as those generals from the Sengoku Jidai period. She has it rest on her hand. She has very long nails. A lot of rings. Yeah, it's a purple dress. A very big shoulder pads. A necklace made out of 5 green magatama. Her mark on her head is the same. She has 2 big jewels on each side of the hair. She has 2 big locks shaped like, kind of like Apollo's horns. And then all long hair floating in the air. I don't know how they stand in the air. But it's more like airspray. And she has green emerald earrings. It's all coming back now. The feel of my blood pumping through my veins. Woe to you, O enemies of Khura'in, for I shall personally slice, dice, and grind you up into hog feed. I don't suppose I can ask her to roll back to a polite pre-makeover personality. And the music is interesting as well. Oh. Know this, lawyer! Yes? Now that I stand as prosecutor, consider your defense's bench a headsman's scaffold. If you wish to leave any last words, I advise you to start thinking of them now. While you still have a head with which to think, that is. Meat. She is that serious. Now, it is time for the divination seance. Rayfa, come forth. Yes, mother. Oh, she's sad. Your benevolence! Thank you for gracing us with your presence. She's hesitant. ... Your benevolence! I understand it may be difficult for you, but may we proceed with the divination seance? Yeah, because her father just died. Yes, let us proceed. Forgive me for asking, but are you feeling physically unwell? If so, I would advise you to avoid any undue exertion. Your benevolence? What's wrong? It's like her mind's anywhere but here. A lot's happened since yesterday. On top of the murder of her beloved father, she found out that he'd been planning a coup. And today she'll have to experience his death through his own eyes. Yeah, that would be enough to shake anyone up. Still, it seems like she's worse off today than she was yesterday. Rayfa ... Yeah, I don't remember her being depressed. This depressed before. We must speak with our child. It's a mother's duty to discipline her child, after all. Now, if you would excuse us. Discipline? Coming from her? I don't like the sound of that at all. Wait. Yoran didn't do something to her, did she? Your Eminence, about today's divination seance. As I understand it, the prosecution has yet to review its content. Is this deviation from protocol a part of your plan? Prosecutor Sainte-Marie, would you care to explain your actions? Your Eminence, the accused was caught at the scene of the crime. Therefore, I deem no seance would be necessary for such a clear-cut case. You and your bleeding heart. You seek to spare Rayfa the trauma witnessing her father's death. Is that why you have done this? Not at all. You were concerned for me, Prosecutor Sainte-Marie. That's oddly compassionate of him, all things considered. Your Eminence, your Majesty, regardless of what is best for our benevolence, this case is blessed with a bounty of incontrovertible evidence, so I believe we can reach a swift verdict without devoting precious time to a seance. You have a point. Personally, I would like to spare her benevolence any undue misery. Experiencing the murder of a loved one is a burden no one should have to bear. Rayfa ... Prosecutor Sainte-Marie, your Majesty, can this trial truly proceed without a divination seance? I can't blame her for not wanting to experience her father's murder firsthand. Your Eminence, what are your feelings on the matter? Shall we have her benevolence return home for such much needed rest? We shall not. You fool! Spoiler with your feckless words of compassion! Exclamation mark from the judge and Nayuta. The queen wants that. Listen well, Refa. You have spoken time and time again about how grown up you are now. Yes, but... So, let us see if the rogue priestess has truly come into her own. Are you prepared to fulfill your duty and perform the divination seance as you should? Yes. That's better. See? Problem solved. Now you da-da-da-da. Poor Refa, is this really a good idea? I guess we'll see. Very well. Let us begin the divination seance. Nina, my robe? She's not there. Oh, right. Looks like Nina's still missing. It's been a whole day already. Refa da-da-da. Barbed head? Yes. You removed my robe. What? Why me? Don't keep her benevolence waiting now, Mr. Wright! Can't you say she's ready to begin? Great. I've been reduced to royal robe remover. It's like she's grooming Mr. Wright to be Nina's replacement. Okay, robe is removed. Very well, your benevolence. Please start when you're ready. Come, Refa. You know what must be done. There is no turning back now. I know. The final memories of the deceased. This should be interesting. Okay, she's doing the thing.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Okay. Double. Okay, so what are we seeing now in the pool? Whoa! She's crying. Ah! Nothing is being seen. Oh. Is it working? Everybody exclamation mark. Refa, da. Is she choking? She's grasping for air and then she faints. Your benevolence! What's wrong? This is unacceptable! Peace! Bailiff! Take her benevolence to the first aid station at once! This is not good. Your Eminence? Do you have any idea why her benevolence collapsed so suddenly? It seems she was not ready for what the deceased was to reveal. It overwhelmed her. Her inexperience and immaturity left her ill-prepared to face her father's death. And she said she could go through with it. How very disappointing. I know someone who's not winning Mother of the Year ever. I mean, of course Rafa's going to be overwhelmed. She's still just a child. It seems we have no choice but to move on to witness testimony. Your Majesty? Oh, yes, let us proceed. Bailiff, summon the first witness, if you would. So is it going to be red boots? Blue pants? Oh, it's Dirk. The accused. Is this not the accused? It is indeed. I thought I would give him the opportunity to plead his case. For true justice is more than a unilateral presentation of the facts by the prosecution. That seems uncharacteristically fair of her. However, should the accused fail to produce convincing testimony, he, along with his cabal of treacherous lawyers, shall immediately be found guilty. It's his double finger. Ha 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 ha. And their heads will roll from their shoulders. What? I should have known there was a catch. Your court, your rules, same as it always was, I see, Goran. Now then, Mr. Dirk Sadmade, if you would enlighten us as to what happened. Well, I would, if I could. You see, witness testimony. He kind of told us what happened, but this is going to be the official testimony. Dirk explains himself. I was struck by a sudden dizziness the moment I entered the tomb. The next thing I knew, I was standing there with a bloody knife in my hand. And lying right in front of me was Inga, dead as a doornail. I have no recollection of what happened in the interim. But I didn't kill him. At least, I don't think I did. It would go against everything I believe in. Apollo ... That didn't explain squat! For the record, let it be known that the accused's fingerprints were all over the murder weapon. And since he was caught in the act, there was no chance for a third party to tamper with it. Well, that certainly seems to point the finger at you, Mr. Sanmade. Man, Brendan always had the snacks. I found 2 bags of Cheetos and some Doritos. Wow! Even as a lawyer, I have to agree with you there, Your Majesty. Seriously, Dirk? This is no laughing matter. This is exactly what Garan wanted. To have Dirk try to plead his case, only to fail miserably. How low can she go? Prosecutor, behold this most unpleasant of spectacles, and let it be etched into your soul. See how instead of accepting the inevitable, those fish-brains lawyers flounder and flop themselves straight into the abyss of despair. Yes, Your Eminence, show me the way. Now then, would the defense please begin their cross-examination? Okay, so it's Phoenix against Garan. Dirksen explained himself. I was struck by a sudden dizziness the moment I entered the tomb. Hold it! You were struck by a sudden dizziness? Was it because of his illness? Is that something that ever happened to you before? Can't say that it has. Maybe age is catching up with me. I'm no spring chicken after all. That's not the issue here. A most cunning excuse, one befitting an insidious insurgent. Oh. A killer who does not recall his crime. How very convenient. Next, I imagine you will plead insanity. You aim to seek a lesser sentence through excuses and subterfuge, do you not?
Objection!
Don't make me laugh, your malevolence. Oh! He went there. How dare you! I'm merely stating my innocence. I have no intentions of offering excuses. It's your baseless speculation I would decry as foolish. You deceitful witch! Is it your wish that I should claim your head right now? In this very hall? Well, that would certainly speed things along. Come at me, bruh. I'm not scared of you.
Hold it!
Kangaroo court. I call kangaroo court. Dirk, why don't you let me handle it from here? And if there's anything you need to say, can sit through me, okay? Anything to stop you from needling the queen? Huh. Next thing you have an objection, you better have some proof to go with it, Dirk. The accused will continue with what he does recall of the crime. The next thing I do, I was standing there with a bloody knife in my hand.
Hold it!
Do you recall anyone putting the knife in your hand, Dirk? Wish I could say I did, but I don't remember a thing from before I came to. You think there might have been a third party in the tomb, son? Yeah, because if you didn't do it, then the real killer must have been there with you.
Objection!
... She raises a hand, and then there's a line of guards, oral guards. You called, your eminence! Does she go anywhere without those goons? Was there a third party in the tomb while you were securing it? No, your eminence. We searched high and low, but found no one of the sort. And there you have it. Oh, right. They did search the place. Furthermore, my guards had the entire tomb surrounded, so there was no way for anyone to escape. That's right. No one got in or out without our knowledge. Her Eminence's on-site directive were absolutely flawless.
Urdi Hara Karan!
For the Queen. Queen Garan. Ugh. Do you see now? The presence of a third party is beyond the realm of possibility. The tomb was, for all intents and purposes, completely sealed off from the rest of the world. What a waste of time. How can it be more obvious? Dirk must be the killer. Thanks for nothing, gallery guy. As if our graves weren't already deep enough. Accused! What do you believe about the possible presence of a third party? Well, based on the situation represented, I would say the chances are slim to none. You didn't have to agree with her, Dirk. Let the accused's statement be added to his testimony. Very well, Mr. Sanmari, if you would. It's like the more we press, the thinner our case gets. Well, let's keep pressing and maybe we'll work out the wrinkles in it too. The possibility of a third party being there in the tomb is probably non-existent. Do I have evidence that prove otherwise? There's a blood stain in the tomb. It does not belong to the victim. Okay, let's go with the blood. I'm gonna say first. Oh.
Objection!
There you go. Your Eminence, I'm afraid this trial will not go exactly as you anticipated. Because I can show how there might have been a third party in that tomb. Oh, how very fascinating. Go on. I do so love a good fairy tale. We did a luminol test at the crime scene. And we found a bloodstain that didn't match the Justice Minister's blood. I will remind you that neither Dirk nor Miss Faye were injured during the incident. The thing is, this bloodstain we found had been wiped out by someone. What's this? But who would have done such a thing? That's the big question, isn't it? Who wiped up the blood and why? Thinking about it logically, it must be someone who wanted to conceal their presence at the scene of the crime. Oh, and to whom do you suppose the bloodstain might belong? The bloodstain belonged to Amara, the real killer, or the victim? The real killer. Well, the bloodstain belonged to the real killer, of course. Whoever it was, they were probably shot while they were attacking Minister Inga. And since their blood would give them away, they had to wipe it out. I say this because we know for a fact that the Justice Minister fired his gun in the tomb.
Objection!
You have the memory of a flea! There was nowhere for anyone to hide. This too is an old fact.
Objection!
Oh, but a bloodstain from a third party means there must have been someone hiding there. Very well then, tell me this. Where was this third party hiding? Oh, the crime scene was thoroughly searched after it was discovered. So if there was a hiding place, it would have been somewhere no one would dare look. Somewhere no one would dare look. Let's have your answer, defense! Where could the third party have hidden? Inside the sarcophagus.
Take that!
There's one place no one would search, not even the Queen's Royal Guard. And that would be inside Queen Amara's sarcophagus. Even now, it's locked up tight. No one would find you if you hid in there. I'm told that it's temperature controlled to preserve the mummy within. But if someone dressed warmly enough, they could withstand the cold for a short time. This is sacrilege! Surely the perpetrator of such a foul deed would be cursed! But that's just it. The killer knew everyone would be too scared to open the sarcophagus. True, the guards were so scared of being cursed, they wouldn't even touch it. And when the coast was clear, the killer made a quick escape from within their frigid confines. Well now, that does sound like a plausible method of evading capture. The defense requests a DNA test on the bloodstain. And then we'll see just who the real killer is.
Such insolence!
Whoa! Bow your head and kneel, lawyer! So your head may be parted from your shoulders. But the trial's not even over. Gust of wind. Whoa! How soon you forget! You're already on the headsman's scaffold! As such, I could order your beheading at any moment. All I did was request a DNA test. There is no need to request such a test! Guard? Royal Guard! Bring it forth now! Here you are, Your Eminence. Dory made a test. The police have already identified the source of the bloodstain. The DNA test revealed that the blood is of the traitor, Dirk Sadmadi. What? What? But Dirk wasn't injured. Where does his blood come from? Maybe he coughed it up. Dirk's illness, of course. Still, there was a lot of blood. Could he have really coughed up that much? And did he wipe it up to hide his failing health? Dirk, is it really that bad? Ah, shoot. You got me. Mysterious bloodstain updated. Bloodstain from Mara's tomb analysis revealed it was dirt blood. Ah! Pay attention, Horn Devil, for this case has already been solved. You claimed that this bloodstain would lead us to the real killer, did you not? About that. Did you or did you not make that claim of your own volition, defense? Yes, I did. After she steered you in that direction, that is. Ah! I fell right into a trap. You see now? The folly in opposing the very embodiment of the law. Whatever you say or do shall come to no avail. A third party at the scene of the crime? It's beyond the realm of possibility. No! Praise be for Queen Garon. Every royal guard is applauding. Yeah! Yes, Queen. Her eminence legal tactics are beyond compare. Yes, Queen. I hate to say this, but she really got us good. The key to Amara's sarcophagus is under the protection of the royal family. My husband and I are the only ones who could open it. Therefore, it would be impossible for some knave to open it. Can I really discount the sarcophagus as a hiding place, though? What if the real killer is still in there? No, that's just ridiculous. I believe we have rebels and sympathizers in the gallery today. It is to you I speak. Have you been listening? Dirk somebody, the one who proclaimed a bloodless revolt, has betrayed your cause by resorting to murder. No, it can't be. Dirk would never. There must be some kind of mistake. Dirk ... The Defiant Dragons and their sympathizers are starting to have doubts. So this is why Garon allowed us to cross-examine Dirk. By establishing his guilt in Inga's murder, she's effectively damaged his reputation among those who support him. Sorry. True, but now we have an even bigger problem. And now, filthy lawyers, you will honor your end of the bargain. Accept your guilty verdict for your failure to explain your client's actions. Go. Oh, she's slamming a book. She's slamming the book of law onto her bench. Huh? Now, I shall pass judgment upon the criminal, Dirk Sadmadi. What's this? You shall pass judgment? But your eminence, is that not my role? Hold your tongue. You are but a figurehead before me, the embodiment of law. Consider yourself dismissed. What the hell? As Queen of Corrine, I shall now pass judgment upon the accused. Guilty! Everybody da. Everybody is shocked.
Objection!
Wait. You didn't even give me a chance to rebuke. No, when you are defeated, lawyer. But just this once, I'm willing to show you the depths of my compassion. Tell me why I should allow this proceedings to continue. Come, convince me. Quick, Apollo. Even if you have to bluff, we've got to keep this trial going. Show her that the crime could have been committed by a third party. How am I supposed to do that? Oh, why don't you start with, how about the timing of Inga's murder? What? Yeah, this whole case is built on a single premise. That Inga was murdered after Dirk entered the tomb. But what if that's not true? Like, if our assumptions are all wrong? It just might work. Well, don't keep us waiting, defense! Dirk became the prime suspect because it didn't seem probable that there was a third party at the scene of the crime. But there is another question we should ask ourselves at this time. Was Minister Inga really killed after Dirk entered the tomb? What nonsense is this? Setting aside the assumption that the murder occurred after Dirk arrived on the scene, opens up the possibility of a third party committing the crime. The question before us is, when was Minister Inga killed? After the body was found, after Dirk entered the tomb, or before Dirk entered the tomb? That'll be before. Isn't it possible that before Dirk even set foot in the tomb, Minister Inga was already dead? That would certainly make the possibility of a third party more probable. Why, of course! I fell unconscious right after I entered the tomb. Even if I had it, I wouldn't have a clear line of sight to his body from the entrance. Which means you wouldn't have noticed his body either way. This scenario is entirely possible. And so we can't rule out the possibility of a third person committing the crime. I see. Well, that certainly does make sense. So far so good. This might actually work. Very well. I shall play along with whatever little game you have knocking around in that tiny mind. I was starting to get quite bored of all this. I could do with a distraction. Yes! Let us hear some testimony that will shed light on when exactly the minister was slain. Bailiff! Summon Rafa! Surely she has recovered by now. But what about me? Don't I serve a purpose anymore? Why is she slamming the book like she's the judge now? I hope you are feeling better, Your Benevolence. Must I perform the divination seance? What? Oh, no. We merely require your testimony this time. Oh. How could my testimony be of any value? Your Benevolence! Princess Rifa seems awfully depressed. After what she's been through, summoning her again is like rubbing salt in the wound. Being unable to perform the seance was probably the last straw. I hope she doesn't pass out again. Prosecutor Sanmari, may I ask you something? Of course, Your Benevolence. I've been meaning to ask you this. I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Did you know about Queen Amara? And about me? Exclamation mark. From where did you hear such a thing? From Mother, and only yesterday. Rafa was carrying on about telling the truth to the people. So I told her what the truth really was. For it is up to a mother to discipline her child. I see. Be that as it may, Your Benevolence, it has no bearing upon your trial here today. So there is no need to let it trouble you. I know. Garan told Rafa about something other than Amara's status. Sounds like it, but what could it be? Rafa, the defense has proposed something preposterous. They somehow think your father was already dead when Dirk entered the tomb. But I believe you can prove them wrong. Are you prepared to do what is required of you? Rafa ... Yes. I am ready to testify. Very well then, Your Benevolence. Your testimony, if you please. what Rafa witnessed. On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard from my second-floor veranda. We see a diagram of Rafa's quarters in front of Inga's private quarters. They both have their veranda in the middle of a pond. And there's a bridge that crosses over both their quarters and into the tomb. Around 2:30 p.m., I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb. Then, at about 2:45, I saw Barbed Head and company enter the courtyard. I saw no one go in or out of the tomb after my father entered at about 2:30. Your second-floor veranda. Oh yeah, she must be talking about that house facing Inga's private residence. So that's the location from which you saw your father, and at about 2:30? Yes, and shortly after that, you people arrive at the royal residence. So after the minister entered Amara's tomb at around 2:30, no one went in or out of there until the murder was discovered? The tomb is closed to outsiders, so no one could have snuck in before the murder. That rules out any possibility of a third party lying in wait to slay my poor husband. Or so she would like us to believe. Now hear me, you useless lawyer. Cease this charade and bow before me, for I, Queen Garon, shall finally have your head. Ew. Forgive me, your evidence, but first, let us allow the defense to question the witness. On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard from my second-floor veranda.
Hold it!
You say you've been watching the courtyard until we arrived, correct? That seems like an awfully long time. There is much that weight on my mind. I see. She really does sound trouble. I don't think she ever fully recovered from the previous trial.
Your benevolence? As crown priestess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, and what is true and what is false. And most importantly, what role you must play therein.
I wonder if I am up to the task. I guess it's not easy being a princess. Your benevolence? I would be happy to lend an ear if you ever like to talk. What would you know of my woes? Do not presume to exceed your station in life. Sheesh, teenagers. Your benevolence, what did you witness from your veranda? Well, around 2:30 p.m. I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb.
Hold it!
Did your father seem different or troubled in any way? Let me think. Oh, there was one unusual thing. There was? Yes, a shriek emanated from within my father's quarter. After which I witnessed him bolt outside, his countenance drained of his usual color. He screamed that he was looking pale. What do you suppose happened? I know not. Perhaps he had a bad dream? Maybe it was a nightmare about being raked over the coals by the queen. Garan ... It seems our young lawyer here wishes to hasten his journey to the Twilight Realm. Sorry. That was rude of me. Does the defense believe the witness' last statement to be important? I believe it is. I would like the witness to add it to her testimony. My father let out a scream and came dashing out of his room, his face pale.
Hold it!
And why do you think he screamed? Was he surprised by someone who didn't belong there? Did anyone else come out? I didn't see anyone else, just my father. That last statement was seriously lacking in conviction. Should I press her on this? Be nice if it be pressed softly or pressed harshly. Your benevolence. Yes? This incident was a real shock to us all. It must have been really terrible for you, but I want to let you know, I know how you feel. Please stop! You presume too much! It's times like these that you need something to take your mind off things. How about we all go on a picnic together or something? I need no sympathy for you! Go on your little picnic alone, hornhead! Well, that didn't go well. Apollo, you have to take a more aggressive approach with people like her. Yeah, he's probably right. Now, back to my testimony. Okay, I'm gonna have to retry and press hard.
Hold it!
Press harsh. Your benevolence! Let's have some details. The more the better. Details, you say? Yes. For example, are you sure you didn't see anyone in the royal residence before 2:30? Well, is that a yes or a no? Eek! Foreign devil! I've been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2 yesterday. Yet I saw none other than my father! Oh, if only I'd stopped him then. Sniffle. I think you've struck a nerve, or rather, obliterated one. Maybe I pressed a little too hard. Oh, shit. Still, that last statement seems a little off somehow. So you didn't see anyone except your father in the courtyard after 2 p.m., huh? Please add that to your testimony, your benevolence. I had been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2, but father was the only one I saw. Okay. Do I have a proof that somebody else was there? There's a channeling photo, a picture taken around 2 p.m. Oh, Albie's statement. At around 2, Shadow was surprised by a firecracker, ran into a courtyard, and stole Nana's hat.
Objection!
Yep. Your benevolence. You're covering for someone, aren't you? Huh? Why? I don't know what you're talking about! Sorry, Rafa, but you're not gonna like this. Well, the thing is, I have a statement here that you might find interesting. It's from a witness who claims that around 2 p.m., his dog got loose and ran into the palace courtyard. That's when the little fella stole this hat from someone. Ah! That's Nana's! I mean, nothing, never mind. Stop playing the tsundere. Garan ... You fool of a daughter! It seems the princess made a blunder. So let me get this straight. This is Nana's hat, which means she had to have been in the royal residence at around 2. If so, then you have to have seen Nana sometimes after 2 p.m. yesterday. Oh, no! Please, your benevolence, tell us what you really saw. It is as you say, Hornhead. I saw Nana, and I saw that dingbat dog steal her hat from her in front of my father's residence. I knew it. Why didn't you say so in the first place? Because my mother told me not to. What? Would you care to explain, Your Eminence? I request that you withhold said information, for it is of no relevance to this case.
Objection!
You don't get to decide. If you disagree, then prove that it is relevant to the case at hand. Oh, I will. Your benevolence, please tell us everything you witnessed when you saw Nana. Alright. When I saw that dingbat dog attack Nana, I ran to help. I raced from my second floor veranda down into the courtyard. Wait, that means that while you were coming down, you took your eyes off the courtyard. I mean, yes, only for a moment. This is crucial testimony. If you took your eyes off the courtyard, it means somebody else could have entered the tomb without you ever knowing. Ah. Your benevolence. Are you sure no one else was there? Oh, yes. She's hiding something again. What about Nana? Were you able to help her? When I got down to the courtyard, Nana was... She was gone. Gone? Yes, and I never saw her again after that. Any ideas what happened? That dingbat dog must have gobbled her up. Yeah, really? I seriously doubt that. But how could Nana simply disappear while Rafa wasn't looking? Rafa must know something. The only question is, what? Why Shadow was in the courtyard, where Nina disappeared to, or why Nina disappeared. What could she possibly know? I'm gonna say where Nana disappeared to. Do you have any idea where Nana disappeared to? What do you mean? Well, during the time you took your eyes off the courtyard, someone could have headed into the tomb. And it just so happened that Nana disappeared right at that moment. No! Wait, you think Nana has something to do with the murder? Yes. I don't think we can rule it out. It sounds like something had kept Nana occupied since the early morning. Plus, she was seen right before the murder and then seemed to vanish into thin air. You're right. And since she's Rafa's attendant, she could come and go as she pleased within the palace grounds. Could Rafa's attendant really be the killer? But that would mean... First my father and now Nana? These were the people I trusted most. How could this be?
Objection!
Do not heed their lies! Lawyers are foul breed, quick to claim that a third party is to blame for a crime. Nana did not enter the tomb, that much is certain. How can you be so sure? When Nana's hat was stolen, that crazed cur spilled an urn full of water upon my husband's doorstep. Is that not right, Rafa? Yes. Yes, it is. While that dingbat dog was tugging on Nana's hat, it tipped over here. The bottoms of her shoes would have been soaked with water. And if she had truly headed into the tomb with wet shoes, she would have left shoe prints along the way. But the only shoe prints to be found belonged to my husband, Inga. Then... That's right. Nena never did go into the tomb that day. Instead, she entered my husband's private quarters. How do you know? Well, it's quite simple. Shoe prints were discovered in Inga's private quarters. Yeah, it's not the same size. So there must be Inga's. Not Inga's, Nena's. Shoe prints that belong to Nena. That's right. Edward and I did see some shoe prints in there. Now, do you understand? Nena could not possibly have gone into the tomb. And that supposed third person at the crime scene is but a figment of your imagination. Another glorious deduction. All hail the genius that is Her Eminence Queen Garon. Yes, Queen. Bow down before our glory, witless lawyer. Udi Ara Garan. Could those guys fanboy any harder? But is it really true? Did they not go into the tomb? Excuse me, but... Mr. Wright? Your benevolence, what time was it when that dog attacked Nena? I believe it was about 2:15. I see. Apollo, if Nena entered Inga's private quarters around 2:15, and Inga came racing out around at 2:30, pale-faced and screaming, then... I know what you're getting at. Yes, that might explain his scream. Would the defense please share their theory regarding Justice Minister Inga's scream? Certainly, Your Majesty. Minister Inga screamed because he had a bad dream, he was attacked by Nena, or he saw a ghost. He was attacked by Nena? Maybe he was attacked by Nena. This would make the Justice Minister's private quarters a real scene of the crime.
Objection!
Does your idiocy know no bounds? The minister's body was found in a tomb. Or are you suggesting that the body was moved? Do I think the minister was moved from his private quarters? I think the possibility does not exist. I would say there's no way that the body was moved. After all, there was an awful lot of blood in the tomb. I understand if the scream was in reaction to Nena's attack. But Inga died in the tomb. We need to explain how those two realities could coincide. How are we supposed to do that? Oh, maybe. Maybe where he was stabbed and where he died were two completely different locations. What do you mean? It's just, let's look at this as simply as possible. If the minister's body wasn't moved, he might have been stabbed by Nena in his private quarters, but then died in the tomb. I say, on the one hand, it seems plausible, but on the other, it seems decidedly implausible. Prosecutor Sanmari, what is that fool babbling on about now? Is this a riddle from one of those fortune cookies Americans seem so fond of? Perhaps, but I believe he himself does not know what he means to say. In all likelihood, it was a poor attempt to confuse us. We should simply ignore him.
Objection!
I haven't finished yet, so hold off on the analysis, would you? The autopsy report never stated that the minister's death was instantaneous. So he could have conceivably moved from one place to another after being stabbed. Oh my! Are you suggesting he ran all the way to the tomb with a knife sticking out of his back? Well, yes, that's the gist of it. In short, Mr. Inga saw Nena with a knife, let out a scream, and when he turned his back for her to flee, right, and that's when he was stabbed from behind. Well, Your Majesty, does my theory hold water?
Such insolence!
dare you bore me like this? Huh? You are a humorless moron, spewing an endless stream of an amusing drivel. I wasn't trying to be funny, Your Eminence. ... Prosecutor, enlighten this ignorant clown in lawyer's clothing. Your Eminence. Ha! Throw the rosary at Apollo. Nayuta. Okay, sorry, I have to go to the bathroom. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with this song. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Sorry, be right back. Okay, I'm back. You dull, slow-witted, putrid-minded lawyer. Perhaps you would be too stupid to notice you have been stabbed in the back. But a normal person would have noticed due to the excruciating pain. No, not him. Now, hold on. Allow me to teach you the meaning of pain. Huh? Please stop! The rosary is constricting on his forehead. Nayuta has a point. Normally, most people would notice a dagger in their back. Ow! Yeah, I doubt someone could ignore pain like this. Still, in this case, it's the word normally that we should emphasize. Apollo, take another look at the court record. Right, there must be something that explains this. I know exactly what they're referring to. There's a reason Inga didn't feel any pain, and the defense will submit evidence proving just that. Very well, please present your evidence. Why didn't Justice Minister Inga notice that he had been stabbed? Painkillers.
Take that!
Ah! Those are my father's painkiller shots. The defense will explain the significance of this evidence. Minister Inga suffered from terrible back pain, so he often injects himself with these. Where we're told that one shot in the back would make all his pain go away. With this, it's easy to explain what happened. Don't tell me you didn't know about these, Your Eminence. Exclamation mark. You can't mean! Minister Inga was stabbed in his back, close to where he usually injects the painkiller. Therefore, it's entirely possible that he hadn't noticed that he had been stabbed. What? What's this? Gallery, no. Rubble. Then, are you suggesting Justice Minister Inga really ran off with a knife protruding from his back? Yes, I am, Your Majesty. So then, when I saw my father, he had a knife sticking out of him? I mean, with that cape of his, I couldn't see his back very well. Yes, the knife was there. It was just plunged in so deep you didn't notice it under the cape. Therefore, when you saw your father, he was already dead. Murdered by Neda in his private quarters. Pukuka! Holy Mother of Corrine! Are we dealing with the living dead here? Well, technically, he wasn't dead yet. I know it's hard to believe, but this is a plausible sequence of events. And once Minister Inga arrived at the tomb, he could have removed the knife and dropped dead from blood loss. Nena killed my father? There must be some mistake. The defense would like to call Nena to the stand.
Objection!
She slams the book on the desk. You seek to drag an innocent old woman to the stand with no proof whatsoever? Well, there's no real proof, but... Huh! What a tangled web of expedient lies you weave! I can no longer tell fact from fiction. Who or what should I believe in now? I'm sorry, Rifa. All I've done is confuse you. But I have a sneaking suspicion Nena's involved in this case, one way or another. Just when I thought we'd blown this case wide open. Well, there's no turning back now. Goran, ... You fool of a lawyer! I know why you're so desperate to prove the accused innocent. You do? Yes, because it faces public execution if proven guilty. So shall you under the stipulation of the Defense Culpability Act. From the moment you accepted this case, you had no choice but to fight for your lives. Oh no, the simple fact is I've always believed that Dirk is innocent. Bah! Still you cling to your pretense? Very well, I shall offer you a bargain. If you would admit that the accused is guilty, right here, right now, I shall overlook your crime of abetting him and you will not be subject to execution. Is this some sort of joke? Far from it. As Queen, I have the power to grant pardons, even to criminals like you. And with the wee wave of my hand, I can even reduce the severity of a sentence. Perhaps even for Durka, should you be willing to cooperate. She wasn't kidding when she said that she's the law here. But to flaunt that power in our faces like that, that's just wrong. Forget all that has transpired in our kingdom and return to your own country in peace. Well, will you abandon your defense of the accused and accept my generous offer? If I don't think this deal will be executed along with Dirk if he's found guilty. What should I do? Continue the defense or abandon the defense? That's very tempting, but we already know what the answer will be. Nice try, Garan, but it looks like you don't know what justice is made of. We won't count out to threats like that, Your Eminence. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't back down now. I don't want to drag you into this, so don't worry. I'm with you, Apollo. To the bitter end, if needed be. And while I can't say I'm used to it, this isn't exactly my first rodeo. But if I'm found guilty, you'll get the death penalty too. Even knowing that, you still want to defend me? I don't know what happened in the past, but it looks like everyone in this country considers lawyers to be liars. So I can understand if you don't believe me. But I still believe in you and your innocence. So all I have to do is keep believing and find the truth. That's all there is to it. So keep on fighting, Apollo. You'll hear no objections from me. You nincompoops! You'll die if you lose this case. Why would you even entertain the notion of continuing? I believe that Dirk is innocent. That's why. And besides, trial exists to give the truth a chance to get out in the open. You can't give up just because you're afraid of some punishment. Even if that punishment is death? Does that not frighten you, hornhead? Who wouldn't be scared? I mean, just thinking about it. It makes me weak in the knees, to be honest. But as a lawyer, I have a duty to protect my client. I can't just abandon that. A duty you're willing to die for? And yet, Duty. Duty is a heavy burden, alright. Rayfa looks like she's really struggling.
Your benevolence. As Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, and what is true and what is false. And most importantly, what role you must play therein.
I wonder if I am even up to the task. But it's no surprise, considering the torrent of painful truths she has to face. Rayfa da. Very well then. If the defense is prepared to face the death sentence under the Defense Culpability Act, then I see no reason not to continue with the proceedings. But I must admit, I see no grounds for doubting the accuser's guilt. Unless the defense have further evidence that would indicate a different suspect. Do we have anything like that? Well, lawyer, do you have any new evidence you would care to present? Or should I have the executioner start his preparations? If she thinks I can't do this, she's got another thing coming. But first, I have some serious thinking to do. I would say new evidence indicating a different suspect exists or does not exist. I don't know. I'm gonna save. Does not exist. Such evidence does not exist. Huh! Just as I thought! I was so hoping you'd present meaningless evidence and allow me to claim your head. Glad I did walk head first into that one then. So what now, Apollo? Well, unless we can prove that Nana killed Inga, this trial is over and so are we. Isn't there still a way to get the proof we need, even without evidence? You know, a key meaning is obtaining testimony here in Khura'in. The divination seance? Huh? Wait, are you actually suggesting? Yeah, it certainly won't be easy, but it's worth a try. Your Majesty, a crucial step in uncovering the truth behind this case has yet to be taken in this trial. But I'm positive I can back up our claim with this one step. You mean you'll be able to prove that Nana killed Justice Minister Inga? And just how do you propose to do that? With the help of a certain someone. You need help? From someone? Well, I can't imagine who it could be. But I suppose I must ask. Whose help do you need to uncover the truth? I wish I could pick Maya, but I think it's Rafa.
Take that!
But that is... me? Here in Khura'in, legal proceeding include the viewing of the victim's final moments. But that requires your benevolence's help. Such information is just as vital as any other piece of conclusive evidence. If you're right about this, Rafa's power should enable her to see the very moment Nana stabbed Inga. It will be hard to watch your father's murder. But it's the only way to uncover the truth. Your benevolence! We need you and your power! You need me?
Objection!
Wretched simpleton! Did you not see what ensued in the previous attempt? You would only succeed in wasting more time. Or is it your goal to make her collapse again?
Objection!
While the princess said she was prepared earlier, besides, it's her duty as royal priestess, I would say it's all up to her now. Am I prepared? Prepared to fulfill my duty? Isn't a divination seance required at all trials anyway? If so, I imagine there'd be a problem with handing down the verdict without one. Indeed, it would be problematic. Under Khura'in's law, a seance must be conducted before a verdict can be rendered.
Such insolence!
Yikes! Must you try my patience so? If I must dispense with that vexing law, then dispense with it I shall. Huh? As ruling sovereign of Khura'in, I proclaim the following. She opens the book, and she writes it down with her nail. Henceforth, the divination seance shall be optional. So she's left-handed. Alright. What? She has the power to do that? Well, technically, yeah. She just rewrote the law with a flourish of her hand. Hold it! Mother! I do not wish for the trial to end like this. Just as the defense said, I must not neglect my duty simply because I'm afraid. I shall go through this with it this time. I will conduct the seance once more.
Such insolence!
Rafa, do not be fooled by his lawyerly guile. You are not prepared to witness your father's death. But Hornhead needs my help. Rafa, did you not tell me earlier? Did you not tell me you were prepared? But despite your grandiose posturing, you collapsed in the most piteous fashion. Even worse, you have erred in your insights of late. For has not the barbed one dare overturned them more than once? Oh. You cannot be trusted to keep your word, nor can you reveal the truth through your insights. So I say to you, be gone! This sacred hall of justice has no need for such a worthless royal priestess. Worthless? Wow, how can she say that to her own daughter? So, Mother, you think me worthless? Rafa, ...
Objection!
Her benevolence says she can do it, doesn't she? So I don't see why you have to condemn her before she's even made the attempt. Garan ... Very well, horn devil. If you really are so bent on having a seance, I shall give you my consent. Really? However, should Rafa fail once more, you two and the accused shall be executed on the spot. Come again? This is proving to be far more entertaining than I anticipated. Well, lawyer, what say you? Will you wager your life and all your health on Rafa to perform a divination seance? Call on Rafa or let her go and rest. No, I believe in Rafa. Call on Rafa. I don't think you're worthless, your benevolence. Far from it, in fact. If you say you can do it, then I believe in you. Hornhead? I do not understand. If I fail, you will be put to death. I know you collapsed during your previous attempt. I can't even imagine how terrible it must have been for you. But, despite that, you are willing to try again. I have faith in that conviction and in that courage. My courage. Ah. So she was doomed to fail if she didn't have the courage to perform the seance. But it looks like she's got the determination to try again. Right! That's a bet I'm willing to take. But it is as Mother said, I've erred in my insight as of late. Not only have I failed to reveal the truth, I've also contributed to false accusation. Knowing that, can you still say that you believe in me?
Objection!
I wouldn't take stock in those words, your benevolence. Despite what your mother says, I don't think you've made any errors at all. Huh? In the trials I've been a part of here in Corrine, I would have never proven my client's innocence without your seances. Because, even though they didn't always reflect the absolute truth, the insight they provide served as vital leads to finding the truth. Vital leads? My seances? So please, your benevolence, try to perform the divination seance one more time.
Objection!
Rafa, stop this madness! It is for your own good! You are ill-prepared to face your father's death! Go! Leave this sacred hall at once! No. What did you say? I said no, Mother! For I am the royal priestess of Corrine! I have no need for you now! Even if you do not need me, Mother! Hornhead and this Hall of Justice do! He proved to me that by risking his own life, it is because of him that I now understand The divination seance is my sacred duty. I must fulfill it, no matter the risk. Your benevolence. Mother taught me that the divination seance was a mirror reflecting naught but the truth. But I began to have my doubts after Bard had disproved the insights it offered. And now I don't even know who or what to trust anymore. Father, Mother, even Nena, I had believed in them above all others. But I finally know now. I know in what I can trust. The royal priestess must debate each seance with the presiding lawyer and prosecutor. So that it can be interpreted properly. That is how I believe trials here in Corrine should function. Therefore, the Hall of Justice needs me. It is my power that leads trials toward the truth. That is my sacred duty, and I will never shirk from it again. That right there, your benevolence, is the product of what you've learned in your struggle so far. The truth that you realize with your own strength. That's my sacred duty. I must ensure that it is fulfilled. I must have the courage and resolve to see it through. Your Eminence, the royal priestess says she will conduct the divination seance. I see no grounds for you to forbid it. Unless, of course, you are worried that it might reveal something you find inconvenient. Goran, ... Rifa, Mother, I'm done letting you have your way. Rifa, you would actually rebel against me, your mother and queen? Though I am scared to see my father's death, I must face my fear. That is what Hornhead has taught me there today. Rifa. She's gonna remove...
I am the royal priestess, Rafa Padma Kurain.
She's removing her vest herself.
And I am prepared to face my father's death.
Your Eminence, it seems the princess is more grown up than you thought. Rafa. Well then, let us proceed with the divination seance. The victim's final moments. This should be interesting. I wonder what Inga's memories are going to show us. We're gonna do it again?
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
We're gonna have the dance again. I can skip it. You know what? Since we've seen it already today, I'm gonna skip it. Alright, Bubbles. Yeah, we see a glass, incense, grapes. You drink sour. Yeah, he's on his desk. He's at the sarcophagus. He's looking at footsteps. He walks. He's already at Amara's tomb. Man's voice. This must be Dirk. Still a smell of incense. He looking at the queen. Pain. Then he fell on the footsteps. Then the footsteps stop. Then we see Dirk in front of him with blood. His face is blurred. He's about to shoot him. Explosions. Laughter. He closes his eyes. So yeah, this proves that he has a an illness. He cannot tell people's face. So that's why he has a notebook. It's the same as Ace in 999. What in the... So the guy is dressed like Dirk. He has the eye patch just like Dirk. But we cannot see his face at all. A faceless being? What the heck? His face is just like the picture of the founder. I think that's the last thing anyone expected to see. Oh, Father, what was it? What was it you saw? Are we to understand that this was the last thing the victim saw? Yes, there can be no mistake. That was what my father himself witnessed. How very strange. You don't suppose the Holy Mother possessed the accused and slew Minister Inga for playing a coup? The divine wrath of the Holy Mother? Oh, Holy Mother, why ever grateful for your blessings? Talk about a sharp left turn into the Twilight Zone. You know, there's one thing in there that caught my attention. The laughter. That laugh. Who does it belong to and why are they laughing? Who knows? Though I suppose it could be Dirk after he slew my husband. But that figure didn't even have a mouth. Oh. I think we're done here, lawyer. How so? You claim that Minister Inga was stabbed in his private quarters, and feeling no pain, went to the tomb where he eventually fell dead. But here we have the contradiction here. He was stabbed in Amara's tomb, and he did feel pain. But his seance vision proves he was stabbed in a tomb and felt great pain, no less. Oh, that. Therefore, as I asserted all along, it was the accused who stabbed the minister in the tomb. Everything just backfired big time. Wow, Garan has the devil's own luck, doesn't she? Rafa ... Now then, I shall give voice to the soul of the deceased. Listen well and heed these words. Insight. Rafa's insight. At around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. He was drinking grape juice while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother. He had been waiting vigilantly when suddenly he heard Dirk's voice. The next moment, he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. My father tried to shoot his attacker, but he missed and the attacker let out a laugh. But there was a shot. So what now, Mr. Wright? It's up to us to knock holes in Rafa's interpretation of Inga's memories. In other words, we need to prove that her understanding of them could be mistaken. Okay, I'll give it a try. Incense, grapes, sour. Smell, sight. Smell of grape. Sour taste. Footsteps. Man's voice. It was close. The proximity of the man's voice is closer than the footsteps. If it was Dirk's voice, they would have been at equal distance. So the man's voice must be Inga's. Then pain. Yeah, because it stopped immediately. Footsteps, and then he stopped. There was explosion. That must be from the explosion must be from the gunshot. And then there was a laughter. So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna save. So rewind. Man's voice. Man's voice doesn't fit with the footsteps.
Objection!
No, that wasn't it. This insight is inconsistent with the vision. Oh? Please do tell, where exactly does this inconsistent lie, Hornhead? Well, it's kind of hard to say, especially when you put me on the spot like this. The defense will only present opinion that won't collapse under pressure. Guess I better take a closer look at the insight and the vision before I try again. Okay, reload. Crap. Nothing works. It's not loading. No! I'm gonna have to restart the game because my reload didn't load properly. Okay, so I'm gonna have to cut the stream. Just stick right there, folks. Please stay right there. I'm gonna restart the stream because I have to reboot the game.